Hello learners, as you can see that this time I have come up with the topic of blood and related products. To give you a brief idea what I am going to discuss in this presentation, I have given a picture on the cover slide. You can see here I have given the picture of the whole human blood, and I have explained that it consists of 55% of plasma, 1% of WBCs and platelets, that is white blood cells, and 44% of red blood cells. In this particular presentation, I will be discussing about the whole human blood, dried human plasma, preparation process of dried human plasma, other blood products, and the plasma substitutes. Here you can see a detailed explanation of the human blood, its constituents, and the percentage of the different constituents. Blood is present in around 8% in human body of the total body weight. Rest 92% is other fluids and tissues. The whole blood consists of 55% of plasma and the rest 45% is the formed elements. The plasma again consists of protein, water and other solutes. In that, the protein is again subdivided into albumins, globulins, fibrinogen and prothrombin. 92% water is present. 1% of other solutes consist of ions, nutrients, waste products, gases and regulatory substances. Whereas the formed element cell is further subdivided into platelets, leukocytes and erythrocytes. The leukocytes is further subdivided into neutrophils, lymphocytes, monocytes, eosinophils and basophils. So this is the explanation of the whole human blood. Okay, so let us now discuss how the whole human blood is collected and stored. First of all, we'll discuss about the donor. The accepted donor is the one who is not suffering from any disease transmitted by transfusion. This includes syphilis, malaria and serum jaundice and should not be also anemic. The collection of the blood is collected from median cubital vein in front of elbow into a sterile container which contains an anticoagulant. Not more than 420 ml is taken at one attendance and immediately afterwards the container is sealed and cooled to 4 to 6 degrees centigrade. That is, the storage condition of the blood needs to be maintained. So at a time 420 ml of blood can be taken and immediately it has to be stored in 4 to 6 degrees centigrade temperature. In the testing, two tests are done. First one is a serological test which confirms the absence of any type of disease, and second one is to determine the ABO, that is the blood grouping of the cells, plasma and RH grouping of the cells, whether it is RH negative or RH positive. Storage must be kept at 4 to 6 degrees centigrade in a sterile environment that I have already mentioned in the collection section. Uses: in case of severe blood loss from the body during hemorrhage, shock, uncontrollable diarrhea and vomiting, the blood can be transferred to a patient. Dried human plasma. Whole human blood has several disadvantages. It has a poor keeping properties, necessitating the use within 3 weeks. It requires refrigerated storage and it must be compatible with the blood of the recipient. That is, it should be compatible with the group and RH quality. That is why dried plasma can be used. Dried plasma on the other hand has various advantages. Properly stored, it keeps for at least 5 years. If protected from light, it can be stored for at least 5 years. Temperature provided this is below 20 degrees centigrade. It can be given to patients of any blood group, so it is not group specific. What are the major problems we face for preparation of the dried human plasma? First is, it is very much prone to transmission of viral jaundice by pooling of the blood, and the neutralization of the plasma agglutinins, that is by cross neutralization by soluble agglutinogens. Most satisfactory ratio is 9 of A is to 9 of O is to 2 of B or AB. That should be the ratio. A means A represents A, O, B, AB represents blood group here. Okay. So now we are going to study about the preparation process of dried human plasma. Dried human plasma is prepared from time expired citrated blood which has been centrifuged to deposit the cell. More than 40% of the supernatant fluid is siphoned off through the sterile tubes. Then pooling is done and the correct ratio of blood groups is chosen to neutralize the powerful agglutinins. Then samples are tested for the sterility. This I have already mentioned in the earlier slide, the ratio I have mentioned. Then 400 ml quantities are dispersed in MRC bottles and are subjected to freeze drying. Preliminary freezing includes the bottles are sealed with the bacteriologically efficient fabric pads covered by ring type closures and then centrifuged at 18 degrees centigrade. The liquid snap freezes and becomes distributed around the inside of the bottle. Primary drying. The bottles of the frozen materials are mounted horizontally in the drying chamber and high vacuum is horizontally given to it in the drying chamber and a high vacuum is applied. The ice sublimes onto a condensing coil kept at 50 degrees centigrade, minus 50 degrees centigrade, and a small heater provides the latent heat required for evaporation. This takes around 2 days to complete, after which the residual moisture content is about 2%. So it is going a step of freeze drying, that is dried at minus 50 degrees centigrade. Now we will study about the secondary drying process. This is done in another chamber by vacuum desiccation over phosphorus pentoxide. It takes about a day and the product is left with 0.5% of moisture. Storage is, it is kept below 20 degrees centigrade and protected from moisture, sunlight and remains usable for at least 5 years. What are the usage? It is satisfactory alternative to whole blood in conditions where there is no loss of red blood cells. For example, burns and scalps where there is excessive fluid and protein loss, and also in case of emergencies when the whole human blood is unavailable. So, its lifespan is around 5 years and storage condition is that it has to be kept below 20 degrees centigrade. Now we are going to discuss about the other blood products. We start with dried human serum. Preparation of dried human serum. Blood is allowed to clot and the supernatant serum being separated after the clot has been retracted. The storage and uses, it is kept below 20 degrees centigrade and protected from light, moisture and oxygen. What are the uses? It is used in the treatment of burns and scalps where there is excessive fluid and protein loss, and also used in cases of emergency when the whole human blood is unavailable. Human plasma protein fraction. The preparation includes by fractionation of the pooled citrated plasma, an organic solvent is used which is having proper volatility and bacteriostatic activity. A stabilizer such as sodium caprylic whose function is to allow the preparation to be heated for hours at low temperature without denaturation of the proteins. For isotonicity, sodium chloride is added and to the control the contamination bactericide is added. Human fibrinogen. The use is to treat fibrinogen deficiency. It is given in conjunction with thrombin to assist adhesion of the skin grafts. If anyone is undergoing skin grafts, then this can be used. Human fibrinogen can be used along with the thrombin. Human thrombin, it is used in conjunction with fibrinogen in fibrin clot and it is produced which is used in surgery to suture severe nerves and to assist adhesion of the skin grafts. So, both of them are somewhat interrelated. They are used along with each other in many instances. Next is human fibrin foam. It is used as a hemostat in surgery by dipping the piece into a thrombin and apply to the bleeding area in order to stop the bleeding immediately. Normal human immunoglobulin injection. It is used in intravenous immunoglobulin. It is used in the treatment of immunothrombocytopenia and autoimmune hemolytic anemia, in prevention of measles, infectious hepatitis and smallpox. Rhesus D immunoglobulin is used to prevent the exposure to D positive cells in the D negative patients. It is usually given in pregnancy and immediately after the birth. Now we will discuss about plasma substitutes. The limited supplies of plasma, the cost of producing the dried form and the risk of transmitting serum hepatitis stimulated attempts to find substitutes of non-human origin that could be used to restore the blood volume temporarily while the recipient replaced the lost protein. Example is gum saline, polyvinyl pyrrolidone and dextran. What are the properties of an ideal plasma substitute? So here you can see the substitute is from non-human origin. It is having a property such as same colloidal osmotic pressure as that of the body fluid, same viscosity, a fairly low rate of excretion but complete elimination, freedom from toxicity, freedom from antigenicity and pyrogenicity, highly stable in liquid form at the normal sterilizing temperatures and during transport and storage, ease of preparation, readily available at low cost, molecular weight such that molecules do not easily diffuse through the capillary walls. So these are the several properties, or you can say advantages, of the plasma substitutes that are used for therapeutic purposes. Dextran is the most satisfactorily used plasma substitute till date. It is a polysaccharide that is produced when the bacterium Leuconoste mesenteroides is grown in a sucrose containing medium. Dextran 40 injection. A number of conditions including severe burns, crash injuries and acute peritonitis are accompanied by severe degree of sludging in the blood. This can be reduced by administration of Dextran 40 injection, which, because it contains polymers of low molecular weight, lower plasma viscosity, and it also improves the capillary flow. It is used in short-term blood volume expansion. With this, I conclude my presentation here. If you have any queries, you can mail me, and also you can drop into the comment section of my YouTube channel. Donate blood to save lives. Thank you.